Good morning and welcome to Friday Live and a mail call here at the Retirement Railroad 2.0. Uh, I'm still laughing at Andy's joke. So, and of course, we are live from. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And of course, Mystic John got the cookie for being first in today. And knowing how much John loves this, I'd leave it playing in the background for the whole stream, but it might get a little bit too distracting. Anyway, oh, I gotta love it. Let's go through. Wait. Okay. And of course, my co-host and sidekick is with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning, all. Hey, it's a nice sunny day in eastern Middle Tennessee today.
Finally, right?
Finally, yeah. I mean, it's just been raining here like crazy. We've had rain almost every day. I don't think we had any overnight, which is unusual because we've been getting rain every night too.
And
But yeah.
of course, we're talking about. Love it.
Good song.
Lynn is on vacation. He's down in New Orleans. Some of you may have seen some of the pictures he's been posting. And Jason, of course, his job schedule changed. He might be able to join us on his lunch hour, but we may be done by that point in time. Who knows? So for now, it's just John and I. So let's go through roll.
Don't worry, I have a 2-hour unboxing.
Let's go through roll call. And as I mentioned, John, Mystic Railroad was first in. He beat C&EI John in. So, and Ray Burleson is with us. Andy, our pilot. Who else? Is that it? Oh, Al Mars joined us, of course. I almost missed Al. So, welcome, guys. And I'm sure we'll have other people joining us as the time goes. It says we got 7 people, so some may not have commented. I know I've got a few people, like some of the people that work with my son, have gotten into it and will watch during their work hours. And my granddaughter of such watches from Great Britain, so from the Manchester area. And so I always forget that, and I end up cussing a lot. So anyway, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. We are old guys,
So, John, it's 86 in New Orleans. Other John.
Oh, the other John, yeah. You can never have enough Johns.
Are you back home? I thought you were up in, you were in Connecticut. So, inquiring minds want to know, or are you just looking at the weather down there? But you say it feels like 94. So. Are you on vacation? What's going on? Because if you're back,
Andy, Andy, you got to convert that centigrade to Fahrenheit. Thus, people here in the States don't understand.
Yeah, 17C to me means 17 degrees cold.
Uh,
Okay. I mean, okay, John. You had me. You had me um, inquiring.
Wondering,
So,
yes.
yeah. So anyway, um, one thing for those that watched Wins 63F. Okay, that's when I was in Florida. I'd say that's 63 cold. Here in Oklahoma City, 63 is great. That's shorts weather for me here. I'd be in long pants down in Florida. Uh, no, your body adapts. It's weird.
It does. It does.
So, um,
Um,
for those that watched the first episode of Workbench Wednesday on, you guessed it, Wednesday. That's last week. Uh, I got through the whole thing, the Pro 2K SW1500 with sound and Keep Alive, and I went to editing all of the different video files, put it all together, and as it premiered, I noticed you couldn't hear the sound, and my microphone didn't pick it up, and I didn't realize it because I'm editing and anyway. So the first thing I wanted to do was fire up that thing, just so you can hear the sound. Because John, I mentioned to you, I put the RS1 sound package on it, just because I like the sound of the RS1.
and who was complaining about you putting that RS1 sound package in it?
Shit, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Somebody said that's not prototypical. I thought,
Yeah.
was that you?
No, that wasn't me. No.
So, to me, I don't care. It sounds good, and a little more throatier. So, and when you think about it, if it's real life, most sound files are not throaty enough. All right, so by using the RS1, it actually sounds more prototypical to me.
Sure.
Anyway, change the camera here, and we're going to go to this view. And there it is in the upper left-hand corner. It's kind of down there on the end in the right-hand corner. So I'll fire up, put some lights on it. See the light there come on the upper right. Turn the bell on. And I'm going to raise up this microphone and kind of flip her around. I'm going to turn off the fan. Can you hear it, John?
Yes, I can.
I'll bring it in closer. How smooth that operates.
And just adding DCC to an engine makes them run better.
Yes.
I've found.
Absolutely.
Because it's still got that full power to it. It's just the board's regulating how much is getting to the engine. So I think that's what does them better.
Yeah. More power.
Yeah.
And, it creeps along. Now, keep in mind, I have all of my locomotives speed limited. All right, the max any of my locomotives can go is 70 miles per hour. My switchers I have down to 55 miles an hour. And so this is the max on this engine is 55 at 100%. So I'm only at 20%. All right, and it's creeping along very nicely.
Yeah. Now, is that horn prototypical to your engine?
Yeah, yeah, because you can set the horn independently. And I think there's one, two, three. I think there's on this Dakota. There's 4 different um, options as far as horns go.
And if I remember right, you did replace the headlights with LEDs, correct?
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Grain of wheat you used?
No, I replaced them
No?
with LEDs. I got rid of the grain of wheat and used LEDs.
Okay. I
I
couldn't remember.
used 3 millimeter warm white.
Okay.
Now on an E unit or F unit, I'd use a 5 millimeter warm white.
Okay. And what resistor did you use with them?
Um, they were pre-wired,
Pre-wired. Okay.
so it just makes it easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I've got to order some more. That's one thing on my list. And I've got to order all my toggle switches for my roundhouse. I've still got a lot to order. Lot to order. But you know, us old retired guys, we just can't order like we used to. Because the funds just ain't there.
Not like it used to be.
Nope, sure it
So,
isn't.
although moving here it gives me more funds to have fun with. So,
Well, I don't. You know, with me, if I hadn't moved, I would have had no mortgage. So I would have had a lot more money.
um, I, I, I had a home equity line of credit down there, and then I took out a mortgage here for about the same amount.
Hmm.
So that one was paid off. You know, basically have a small mortgage here. And the only reason I went with that was so that the mortgage service company would pay the taxes, but pay the insurance,
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of stuff as part of the mortgage. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
Yeah.
the same interest rate. So,
Well, I had been in my house over 30 years and no mortgage on that.
so
And
well,
you know, but
when I bought the house in Riverview, I paid cash for it, the whole
mm,
thing, and then I put the koi pond in, and I wanted to do some ancillary landscaping and stuff, so I took out a small home equity to do that. So,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it was 10% of the value of the house, roughly. So, anyway, so it's still 90% paid off. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I figure I've got about 13 more years and mine will be paid off again. If I
yeah,
live that long.
yeah, I'm paying extra on it here, so that the 30 will drop down to 15.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
30-year mortgage, but I pay a little bit extra, and if you look at the payoff schedule, you're paying that much on the front side, it pays it off a whole lot faster.
Mm.
So, anyway, that's here nor there. That was if you die owing money, you win. To a certain degree, that's a true statement.
Well, yeah,
Joe,
but
you can be late anytime you need to be late. It's no big deal. All you
well,
did was miss the sound test on the Pro 2015 that I didn't realize there was no sound on last Wednesday's video. So and I like the sound. I don't know if anybody else liked it or not, but I thought it sounded good, especially at half the price of
Mhm.
the more popular decoders.
Well, and Steve, that's exactly the way I feel. You know, I'm not a purist, so I don't need the perfect sounds. It's just for my entertainment. So I go with the Digitrax, and I try to stay with Digitrax for everything. I have bought some different brands, some of the what was the name of the company? MRC used to make them, but then another company bought out their stock and have been selling as like XL
I don't know.
XL systems. They
Uh,
sell the old MRCs, and you can get a decoder for 20
you know,
bucks.
I've got one or two old ones with MRC decoders in them. I've got a Paragon 4, a Paragon 3 that I had a lot of problems with, and Broadway limited after repeated uh, issues and sending it back. And they upgraded it, put a new board in, the same board that's in the Paragon 4s,
Hmm.
and added a keep alive, and I haven't had an issue yet since then, 3 years. So they're not, Broadway Limited is no longer on my shit list. So, and then I have a couple Lokesound 5 locomotives that came in the engines. I've got a couple Soundtracks, Economy locomotives came in the engines. And all the ones I've installed have been Digitrax. Now, keep in mind, all right, if I wanted to put a Tsunami in any of my locomotives that I have a Digitrax in, they're all the nine pin connector on the front side, 10-pin connector on the sound side. You just unplug those and plug them in to a Tsunami,
Hmm.
Tsunami 2. And now you've got all those things. Okay?
Yeah.
Now the speakers come into play because it's Soundtrack Tsunami 2 is a 2-watt system or 2 amp, I forget what it is. And so you need to either turn the master volume down substantially or add a second speaker in series.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
hey JD, welcome. The now, as you'll see, not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday afterwards. I've talked about it in the past. I think I did a mail call on it where I have the Athearn Blue Box cow and calf 1500s,
Hmm.
and uh, taking, because the Proto 2000 1500s have a shelf that sits down lower than the motor that you can put the decoder on, and then you can get the speaker and a smaller keep alive into the cab. All right, and
Hmm.
that's what I did on this Proto 2000. It works great. All right, sounds great in my mind. And but the Athearn, you can't do that because there's no room uh, because of taller motor, taller gear towers, and there's no shelf to mount the decoder on. Um, so what came about was during one of Heath's live streams 2 months ago or so. Uh, he's trying to figure out how to put keep alives and so forth and so on. And I came up with the idea that said, well, if you had a calf, all right. And for those that don't know what a cow calf is, a SW 1500. If it has a cab, it's a cow. If it doesn't have a cab, All right, it's a calf, and in other models they would call them slugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but in a 1500, the common terminology is cow and calf. So I just came up with the idea. I said, if you had a calf, you could put all the electronic stuff in the dummy calf unit and do a connecting wires between the two for the motor control, power pickup. And then all of a sudden you got 8 axles of power pickup plus a keep alive. And there's no frog in the world that's going to be a problem. As a matter of fact, on my center line, if I have it on set to the motorman or in the off position even, that cow and calf can on the double slip switch can go all the way across it. All right, and I won't say all the way. It gets within like an eighth of an inch of being across it to keep going. That's how far it'll keep going, even with lights and sound going. If I muted it, I'm sure it could go all the way across. And again, that video of me doing that project will come out a week from this coming Wednesday. I'm in the editing stages now, but one thing that did happen is I bought those 4 in the mail call last week. I had those 4 SDXH or SDXH 167Ds
Right.
decoders. I bought 4 of them, and the one I installed in it, there was no sound.
Oh no.
So, and I'm going, oh God. And I found 2 issues. All right. One was the pin on the sound, on the 10-pin plug at the decoder. The black wire for the speakers, that wire had popped off. So I slugged it back in there, still no sound. And then the plug between the 9-pin plug, male and female plugs between the cow and the calf wasn't closed all the way on one side. And I closed it down, still no sound. So I ran continuity test on it with the meter, and all my wiring was fine. So the decoder itself was bad. That's really only, I think it's the second time I had a bad decoder. So that's why there's no car behind me right now. My wife's at the post office mailing that back to Digitrax. The last time I sent a decoder back to Digitrax, I get a phone call from them. There's nothing in the envelope. Sure there wasn't. I was pissed. All right, because I saw my wife package it up. All right, and I know damn well it was. So, they probably opened it and the thing flew out under a desk somewhere. And anyway, they wouldn't warranty it, nothing. So I made sure this time I put it all back in the original, Digitrax packaging, taped it all up. I even had the little bubble wrap in there and everything. And my wife put it in a envelope with the return paperwork and everything, and then taped it up, and then taped the address and stuff on it. Hell, shit, I got a picture of it here somewhere. And
so you armored it to make sure it got there.
damn straight, man. I made sure. I think this is the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, but see, that's not proving that it's in there.
Yeah, well, I got pictures of it wrapped up. Nothing proves it's going to be in there. Because even if it's open with it in there, all right, they say, oh, you took it out or it fell out before you closed it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, um, and there's no way to take a picture of it with it sealed and see the
Well,
contents. So,
yes, there is. You can take it out and have it X-rayed to
oh
show that it's
yeah,
in there. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
There's
we'll
always
see.
some way. I
Hopefully,
think I've only had to send back one Digitrack decoder, and unfortunately, I sent it back close to Christmas, so it was like 8 weeks before I got it back.
we'll see.
Uh,
Hopefully, I'll have it back a new one before I need it to do these. I've got one. I got one decoder left because I bought four. All right, put one in the Proto 2000, and put a replacement in the calf, and so then the bad one. That's three. I got one extra, so I got enough to do the 480 consolidation that Lynn gave me. But then I still have the 464 Hudson that I have to do. So hopefully before I need it for that, I'll have a replacement back. So,
mm,
hey, Tammy and Ray, glad you could make it. Tammy, I hope you're mending well. For those that don't know, Tammy, I think it was a ladder, fell off a ladder. So she's been kind of sore. So, and there's hi.
hi. And Tammy, just remember, as we get older, we don't bounce as well.
No, not,
Yeah,
not, not
yeah,
good.
not good. No, try to stay away from that falling stuff,
Yeah,
especially off of high ladders.
my wife is vertically challenged in that regard. She, I had a $2,000 dental bill for her tripping and falling on the concrete sidewalk back in Florida, and then she tripped over a sprinkler head and fractured her hip. And there's been a couple other times she's tripped and fallen and without injury, thank God. But I get
Tammy,
worried.
Tammy, you cannot have enough padding. I've got plenty of padding, and it still doesn't bounce well.
No.
So I'm glad Ray enjoyed his train car.
Yeah,
He he
I saw
he's
in one
got
of the
the
updates.
only he's got the only one exactly like that.
I saw in one of their updates where he was running his switcher train, and
Yes,
your gondola was in that train. The one you
yeah.
gave, not yours, it's his now, but the one you gave him.
Oh no, you need surgery because of your fall, Tammy. I'm
Oh
sorry to hear
no!
that.
Hey, it's Mr. Bumper, Michael McCarville. Hey, Michael. Hope everything's going well out there in Colorado.
Yeah, but well, this week on my layout, I've been doing some wiring. Besides, after the stream last week, I went out and spent a little money on new monitors for my television or for my computer because the ones I had were fine in Florida, but here they were too big. They were blocking too much of my space underneath the center layout that I have up here. And so I went to, instead of two 42-inch monitors, I went down to two 24-inch monitors, which now I can see past on each side, so I'm not as like confined as I was, and I can also zoom in to some of my screen pictures of my layout area, so it helps some. Um, I don't like my camera, but that's what I got right now. And so I was I'm just trying to work things out around here. because I need to get underneath and do a lot of drops for my bus line. I wanted to get rid of those big monitors because they just there wasn't enough room. So, but I started running the bus line. I had started to do it in Florida. I guess I had most of the leads done on that. I've still got a few hanging down from the old track that's not connected to anything. So I need to start working on that. And of course, I couldn't find the rest of my 14 gauge bus line. I
Excuses,
I
excuses.
I
You
know it's
always
someplace.
you
I
always have issues every week
Hey,
why it's not hooked up.
well, well, that was the issue. I was just trying to find it to put in more, and I
I
couldn't
mean,
find
I
it.
drive all the way there and get
Well,
your DCC system working only to
uh,
find out you don't have it connected to the track.
yeah, because I have, Steve, I have to have one box that has all this stuff that I can't find in it because, to the best of my knowledge, I've been through everything inside the house. So
John,
it's got to be out in the shed.
you want me to send you $20 for some 14 gauge wire so you can hook up the track to it?
No, that's part of my mail call here. So yeah, I've got it now, and that's why I started working on it again.
Now, to
Uh,
put all this into perspective, I am eating this up because back in the Florida days, almost on a daily basis, John and I be talking or texting, and he'd have his big question was, well, when's the helix going in? When's the helix going in? So now I get to turnabout's fair play.
oh yes,
And
yes, it definitely is. Yes.
and so get it hooked up. I thought you had everything you needed, other than hooking up a DCC cable. All right, I
I
got that done for you.
Yes, yes.
What else did I do? I
Eh,
soldered up. Oh, I hooked up. Did some
was
soldering. Did something
it
for you.
was I think no. Well, yeah, we worked on soldering because we had to solder the ends of the leads. So
For
yeah,
what?
for the power.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah, yeah. For your power supply.
we
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, since I couldn't find that cable that I needed, we you helped me make
Yeah,
one
right.
up.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
put an inline fuse in. Yeah, 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 yeah.
right.
So
Yeah,
got all that done for you.
yeah.
No revenge. Andy says no revenge. All right.
Yeah, well,
Andy. One thing you got to understand: I do not get even. I get ahead.
yes, yes.
Competition drives. All right. Production. So,
Yeah,
yes.
the bench work's all here. Yeah, it's all up and good. In fact, I'm farther
Because I'm
along
sitting there
on.
going, "Come on, John! Come on, John!"
Well, I go in spurts though. There was like the 2 weeks of solid rain every day. I was in here working on my bench work. I got all the fascia board put in. I got it all painted, screwed in. Got
All
my
this, all
return
this,
line done at the end.
and all this work, and guess what? It's still not working.
I can still run trains. I can run DC.
Only because of
No, I could always run. I ran DC before you got here. I had been
okay.
running DC. Remember, I tested all the track with my shortest engine to see if it'd run on DC, and it crosses every turnout. It goes on every piece of track. So, and I've installed a lot of track in the last half a year here since
This says
December.
at least you haven't misplaced the bench work. I don't know what that's in regards
Well,
to. Did I misplace the bench work?
I don't know. Did you? No.
I don't think so.
Well, see, and I think it was Ray that made that comment. The only part of the bench work that I'm reusing is my center peninsula that I have added to make it wider because I wanted to make my curve around the back of my roundhouse uh, at least 30 inches radius because of my 210 and the shortest radius on here is 27-inch, and that's the inside track
Now,
of.
have you run the 210 too?
Yes, I have, and it runs around them. Yeah.
No, I was going to say because when I finally got everything straightened out on mine, my 210 would run because all the curves are were 22 on the outer main line were 22
Yeah.
inches. And the only problem I had was on the corner switches because those switches, even at a 22-inch radius curved switch, there's a portion in there right at the where it's 18-inch radius, and that can throw it off. So
Yeah. Now I do have a couple curved turnouts, but
okay, that's what John was meaning.
oh, okay, yeah, yes. Well, I had the wire from my old layout because I did bring my old layout with me. I was intending to use as much of it as I could because the stuff has really gone up in price since I originally did my bench work, and I've reused most of the foam. I've reused a lot of the paneling. Um, I've reused track because I hadn't got it ballasted yet in Florida, so there wasn't cleaning off the ballast. I just had to clean off some of the glue, and it wasn't bad. And I do have all the wire that I used. However, what I'm doing here, I needed more wire anyway because I've got the yard that's over here behind me, which I'm going to be dropping a lot of leads to. So it's I'm gonna need more wire, but it's starting to come along. I'm happy with what I've got done so far. I mean, I've got some stuff put up for landscape. Well, it's more of hardscape because it's concrete and buildings. So, but I want to get all my track leads in, and then I'm going to at least do the ballasting in my yard because that's where things are going to be, and I'm sure of that. Need to work on some more background buildings.
So, did you get anything this week? Did you hunt?
Well, I thought you had one.
I always do mine second.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I did. I did have some stuff come in. Let's see, where did I put it? One thing that I had never got was a power supply for my turnout, which I'll be installing this
for
week.
Your turntable.
Turntable, sorry. Turntable Wathers. It's a 16 volt by. I can't read it.
Now is that a 16 volt AC?
It's converts it right here.
I understand, but what does it convert it to?
I don't know.
It's converting.
It just says
to 16, but is it AC or is it DC?
DC. 16 volt filter DC power supply.
Okay.
So that will, I'm actually going to be plugging this in way over by my controller, and with the little plug that comes with it, I'll just extend those leads and have it running over there. I don't want to try to have something close enough to plug into the turntable. Plus, with the way I've got it set up over here, I've got one of those old power power plug things. Remember where you used to set your monitor on it in the old days, and it had all the individual switches for
Yeah, 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 yeah.
the
The
power, the
power supply, not power
yeah,
supply,
um, power
power
adapter,
hub.
hub, yeah. But
Yeah, where
I found
it
one of
had
those.
individual switches for the PC, for the monitor, for a printer,
Hmm.
and everything plugged into this, and it was surge protected.
Right, yeah. So I've got that over there, and I've got a spot where I can plug this in because, I want to be able to turn it off when I'm not using it. Um, so that was one thing. What else did I
You
get?
also want to
Oh,
be able to turn it off if you need to clean it.
that's correct. Yes, that
Um,
will help. And
because the control unit that's underneath the turntable itself,
hmm
I had one of those go bad because excuse me, some stuff got down in there and shorted it out. So
oh,
Walter's warranted it, no problem. So
mm, that's good. Another thing I lost or misplaced with my 14 gauge wire was the wire for my leads, and even though I've still got some of it hanging on the wire that I had from the old one, I didn't have enough because again I've got a lot more track
do
than
you
I had down in Florida.
do you have any single pole switches for your like the bays of the
Uh,
roundhouse or sidings or
um,
anything like that?
yeah, I'm still debating on how I'm going to do that because I want to be able to turn the lights off separately. And what I'm doing with the lights is I'm using some of the Christmas lights that have just a little tiny grain of LED lights in it,
Uh huh.
which I believe, if I remember right, they're 3 volt. It's a
Yeah, I think so.
3 volt system. So I'm going to have to run those separately, and they'll come down in the back of each stall at the curved edge of it in the back. I'll
Okay.
run it down through some straws down below the table and then
But
hook it up.
what I was getting at is some isolation switches, single pole switches for each
The
of the
track.
bays for the track, so
Yes.
that when you turn the power on, you don't have all these engines in the roundhouse firing up on you.
Well, and I had bought some nice little black toggle switches.
Hey Heath, you know it's Friday if it's Friday live.
Yeah. I had bought some little black toggle switches,
Uh huh.
but they would run the lights off of the same power as the track in this case, so I can't use these. I could, I can't use them to also provide the power to the lights because, oh shoot, I guess I could if I put a large enough resistor on there.
Yeah.
I'd have to do the calculation for that, but and this one actually has a little LED light in the top
Right.
there that's blue that would tell you that
Tells
it
you if it's
was
on or not.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't use the ones with the lights in them, but I used the same type of little recessed toggle because
Yeah.
you can't snag anything on it.
Well, this really isn't recessed. I guess I could if I wanted to recess them, but
Well,
they're at least they're low profile.
exactly. Versus
Yeah.
because um, and I don't have any handy. I've got some in my kit over there, but it's not a toggle,
Yeah.
sticking out. It's a flat thing. It's a
Yeah.
rocker switch. It's not a
Yeah.
toggle. It's a rocker.
Rocker. Yes. Yeah. So I've got a bunch of those. I don't have enough since, I'm adding stalls. I'd have to order a couple more packs of these if I can find the same one as I ordered years ago. I actually bought these, at least 3 years ago. So, um, I just had never, I'd always decided, I was wanting to do lights on my buildings. I want to be able to turn them off individually. So I'll have more of them on there like that. And I like the black for the black fascia because they sort of hide.
Yeah.
But I can also take and put, I've got one of those label machines, so I can actually take and print labels out to put it by each switch so I know what it is.
Yeah, I didn't do it on this simply because I'm likely to be the only one operating on it, and I know where all the switches go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But on a larger layout, even like yours, if you've got multiple people running it. Now, here's a question for you. If you put isolation switches for each of your bays, you've got turntable control unit modules on both sides of the peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So which side would have the isolation switches?
I would do it on this side. Because this side is where you'll actually be able to see in all the bays without any restriction. Where the
because
I
don't think they make a 3-way rocker switch like that.
Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, that. Just think of the extra wiring that would be.
Yeah, and then you'd have to have one with a light on it because position wouldn't tell you.
Right. Correct. Yeah. So, well, let's see. We got off track there.
That's okay.
Anyway, one of the boxes, since I couldn't find my wire, this is my 20 gauge solid wire that I'm going to use for my drops because, again, I had lost or misplaced all the wire. So that 100 foot on each one, I think I have enough.
Think you got enough.
Yeah.
Now that you have that, and that was the only missing piece to getting up and running DCC. You'll be up and running by what? Close of business today?
Well, it'll probably be Monday or Tuesday before I get that done.
Tuesday.
I've got a friend coming in from over the weekend, and
he can help you.
Well, she can't, but yeah.
Oh, well, okay then.
Yeah, we're gonna go see some waterfalls. Just a friend. Just a friend. But no, but anyway,
I'd say no more.
Yeah. But as I said, I did get some wire run. Now I was telling Steve earlier, I've misplaced my my connection blocks that I need to install underneath to have drops going off of, and I've seen them. I actually took them out of the drawer that they were in, and now I can't find them.
Hush, Andy, hush.
What's Andy saying now?
Nothing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. This is a lifetime hobby. I'll be working on it the rest of my life, so there's no rush. I want to have a much longer
But it would be nice to have it running.
Well, yeah, and I will have it running. All I got to do is connect one lead to the track, and I can have it running. I know I've got good connectivity all the way around. Yeah. And maybe I'll do that this afternoon. I've got this lead right here that's close to track.
I'm going to shame you into. I'm going to call you this afternoon and So, John, are you done yet? Are you done
No,
yet?
you
Are you
can't
done
call
yet?
me this afternoon because you'll be taking your nap. I know better than that.
Touche.
Yeah, what goes around comes around, right?
You got
Yeah.
that right. You got
So,
that right.
so there's two of my purchases, and John, Mystic
Would you
John,
guys quit defending John? Quit it!
thank you, Joe. That is true, and you're never done with the layout. So,
I didn't say you
yeah,
had to be done. I just wanted
you're
running.
rushing. You're rushing me though. So,
I,
John,
I,
Mystic John was asking for a 2 hour unboxing. So, okay, here I've got a box,
that is a box. Yep.
and there is more than one thing in there. So we'll take some time with that. Um,
All right.
actually, uh, two of them are already out here. This is the wire for my bus line for my DCC that I've already got out of the box. So there. Now we'll do some more a little later. But yeah, that was the 14 gauge wire, and it's a little different than what I had before. The 14 gauge wire that I bought last time had a very thick covering on it, and the connectors, the what were you calling those, Steve? T connectors?
T taps. Yeah.
T taps, yeah. The T taps that I use to connect my drops had a hard time going over this wire because it's the casing is just so thick on it. So I'm hoping with this newer wire that I have that the casing is probably half as thick as what it is in this wire here, that it'll be a little easier to put it on because I was having trouble getting it to close properly to snap together, and then you have to put the female plug over it to connect your wires. But
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. We have some important thing to share.
oh, a new one.
I just sent me that.
Yes, and I like Heath's comments, Steve. You need to read that.
I
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Yes, he needs to come over again and help me do all these hundreds of drops. Yeah.
You don't need hundreds. Did you did you did you jumper your turnouts?
Most of them, not
All
all of
right.
them.
If you jumper your
Um,
turnouts and you don't use Atlas,
well, I'm sorry about that. As I told you, I paid $2 a piece for them,
I
and
understand. But if it this is generically not pointed at you, don't use Atlas. Jumper your
no.
switches.
Hmm.
If possible, not all switches you can do it to, but a lot of them you can, including the Atlases. Make them electrofrogs because if you're using tortoise switch motors, all you got to do is two extra drops and a line to the frog, and
Hmm.
now
Well,
it's ready to go. So
I did not use any of my tortoise motors on this.
so what are you
I,
using?
on my hand throwing. So
Okay.
I can reach everything, so it's not
All right,
like
all right.
they're too far away.
So if
Um,
you're over where I was on the computer, all right, and you've got to throw a switch over on where your workbench is in your
I'll walk
yard
over
area.
there and do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I need the exercise. I got to lose about 30 more pounds. So, walking back and forth is not a big thing for me.
Now you're shorter, so you can get under those duck unders
I,
fairly
I'm
easy.
I'm
I would have
vertic
a I would have a concussion by the end of the
yeah.
day.
Well, believe me, I still hit them, but I am vertically challenged. That is correct. Um, I'm not that short though, but I've got 48-inch at least duck unders, because
The
the top of my roadbed or top of my layout is 53 inches. I kept it the same as I had it in Florida. So then I have a 6-inch, so it's 47-inch fascia
now
height
peak,
from the bottom of the fascia to the floor.
I like Pico as far as store switches
Oh
go.
yeah.
I like Picos. Um, I think the Walthers and the Hara are good as well. I've never used one. I had one. Um, and of course, the fast tracks, as long as they're built right, are great. Uh, and but again, I always jumper the switches, and
Hmm.
because that takes away a lot of the issues.
Yes. Yeah.
Even on the Picos, Insel Frogs, I've got a bunch of those on here. As a matter of fact, everything on here is a Pico Insel Frog except for two. All right, I do have two electric frogs, um, only because that's what I had
Yeah.
left over. You know, and I still have 7 or 8 turnouts, Picos that I have not used yet, and uh, so that's 19, 20, no, 19, that's about 27 out of 70 that I
Mm.
had in Florida. So do the math, whatever the balance was. Those are all Atlases, and I threw all those away. So,
Well, you shouldn't have just thrown them away. Your buddy in Tennessee would have used them because I don't care.
I would not make you suffer with those Atlas switches. It's,
Well, hey,
I will not condone the use of Atlas switches.
even at $2 a piece.
No, because tearing them out and replacing them, uh, I don't want to have to do that.
Well, now just remember, this is my temporary layout, hopefully, and when I change over, I'll use all Walthers or Pico or gee, if I could ever get micro engineering to actually send me something, I'm still,
The
I've got half of the turnouts that I need from my um, double ended yard, but I can't get the rest of them. So it's like I don't. I've tried ordering through my hobby shop. I've tried ordering straight from micro engineering, and I can't get them.
if I ever get through my projects, my existing projects, and I've already started looking for the jigs for fast tracks. I think the two I had selected was the 28, 22 um, straight turnout, which I think that's what it was, 25, 22, I don't know. And then a curved version of that too. So those two jigs, you can do both right and left of each. And
Hmm.
I figure if I can do those, then I would cover the overwhelming majority of what I would need for the new shed once I get to that stage.
Hmm.
Now, uh, this morning I was listing out, putting on a spreadsheet all the projects I currently have. And I didn't get them all done, but I've got 10 of them sitting there between the two benches. I have 10 of them sitting there, and that doesn't include any landscaping or structure builds, anything like that for the shelf layout. All right. So I've got a good year's worth of projects in my estimation to get done. Um,
Yeah, I've got more than a good year.
so
uh, but you got to
hell, that
remember it. I've got
the go ahead.
I've got work to do outside, and I do have a lot of acreage that I mow every week, and
Yeah, but
so that does take some of
that's
my time.
that's secondary to get your layout running.
Uh, no, because here's the thing, Steve. If I wait more than say 10 days on sections, it takes me twice as long to mow it because we've been getting rain here every day and it's
I know
growing
it.
like crazy.
I'm just
I
pulling your
mean,
chain.
I never had my grass grow this fast in Florida. So, yeah,
Well,
but
it's because you probably never fertilized it.
oh yeah, I did. I did
I'm
until
kidding.
they
I'm
put the
kidding.
fertilizing ban down. Uh, but anyway, something else I got. Well, here's some 100 foot of orange 14 gauge wire.
Okay.
And the reason I got that is I will be using the one of those computer power supplies for doing the some of the other voltages I need for my layout because I do have 3 amp or 3 volt lights. I'll have 5 volt lights and I'll have 12 volt lights.
And you need a 16 volt, um, not just for your turntable, but if you ever, I like, and I've got some smoke generators for chimneys.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
not for locomotives, but for
for
structures.
chimneys. Yeah.
My packing plant had chimney had a smoke generator in it. My brewery had a smoke generator in it, and all those work much better off a 16 volt AC power supply. So
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be able to run stuff and green.
gotta have green.
And these are all 14 gauge stranded. Here
So
is,
you're using stranded iron wire for bus lines.
yeah,
Okay.
and purple. Now, I don't know what I'm going to use purple for, but it came in the box. So,
Because it'll look
uh,
pretty.
well, and at least I'll be able to know what purple is. Um, and then white.
That would be fun, Andy.
Yeah, that would be fun. Uh, gray.
So each of those rolls are 100 feet.
Each of those rolls are 100 feet.
And
Blue,
they're all 14 gauge.
all 14 gauge. It was in the pack.
That was pretty
Uh,
expensive package.
actually, no, it wasn't. It was like $36.
That ain't bad for all that
No,
wire.
and that's brown and then yellow.
Could you
So
go
that
into Lowe's or Home Depot and priced wire out lately?
oh,
My
there it's horrendous. I went and
my
bought
God.
just a small roll and paid the same as I did all of this.
Yeah. I
And,
mean,
and you,
I bought what was it, 100 feet of uh, 12-3 wire. Um, not for the layout, for stuff around the house. And hell, it was like tax and everything does like $125.
yeah, it's
What the
I just
hell? I
I
remember
just
going to
bought.
the store and getting it for 20, 25.
Yeah, I remember when it was like 5 cents a foot.
Mm.
But hey, everything's gone up in price.
Yeah.
So,
Just so you don't lose it, Andy says you need to paint that box day glow orange.
uh, how about Kubota orange? I've got plenty of Kubota orange paint. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's pretty bright. But yeah, no,
Anything to make it easier to find.
yes, because I'm getting old and senile. I guess I just
Getting?
can't getting. Well, yeah, my wife would have said I was already senile, but
Yeah, they are, Joe.
um,
So what else is in that box? Is that
yeah,
it?
that's it. It was all wire. That was a whole
Ah,
box of wire. So that's about it for this week. I think I had shown the other stuff I got last week. But
So you do know our crew here is going to expect you to be running DCC trains, all right, on your layout by this time next week.
okay,
John, that's
yeah,
not that hard.
no, and I'll probably when I do it. Let's see. I'm gonna present video.
I could have that done in an hour, maybe.
Yeah, I know. So could I. Um, present, share screen, wise, live, share. Let's see. I'm trying to share a screen. What did I do wrong? Present. Can you switch me over, Steve?
To what?
Uh, I'm sharing a screen.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Got it.
Let me turn the sound off. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be able to have that screen up, and you can see almost all the track with that shot.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that looks good.
yeah, and forgive the colors of paint, but they were cheap, and
Hey,
I'm getting tired of
base,
seeing the pink.
base color, cheapest brown I could find is
Yeah.
actually this shelf layout. Since I'm no longer in Florida or brown soiled areas, I went with a dark grayish black because that's the way the dirt was back in Illinois, and as you know,
Hmm.
in Indiana as well. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice rich soil there.
Yep.
But anyway, that's
I'm
the
never,
screen I'll show.
Ray wants to know where you ordered the wire from.
It was on eBay. I'm sorry, it was Amazon, and I can't remember the company name is Cable Electric, and there's. Let me see if I can. Well, the brand Cable Electric, and they're out of. Oh, I just saw it. Something Maryland, USA, but it
Here
was on
is, I don't know, yours are all 100 feet.
100 feet. Yeah,
I see a Neo Evo 12 gauge.
this is 14 gauge.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm in Amazon. Uh, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can get to my Amazon page right at the
Should
moment.
be
Let
able
me.
to. You're in 14 gauge, right?
That's 14 gauge. Yeah. Maybe when I do my big layout, I'll have to run 12 gauge or just have a lot of boosters. Let me see if I can get on there.
You sure they're 100 each spool?
Yeah, 100 foot. At least that's what they're marked. I haven't unwound them yet to.
Oh, right here. I think this is it. Uh, this is going to be something comparable.
Uh,
It wouldn't all fit.
uh, but yeah, I thought it was a halfway decent deal because I've seen the price in the stores. I mean, it's just outrageous. Um,
This is
but
low voltage gauge wire, 12 volt. It's not rated, which works. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, trying to see if nothing in car. How about orders? Shoot, it didn't sign me in. Yeah, it did. Okay. Ooh, they changed the price.
What's the price now?
$79.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 46 when I ordered. Oh wait, that's quantity 14 gauge. Yeah, it's gone up in price now.
That's a hell of an increase in a week.
Yes, it is. I'm glad I bought it when I did. But still, if you think about it, it's 1,000 feet of wire for $79. That's still
Do me a
cheap.
favor, copy that link,
Mm-hmm.
all right, or URL. Go up, uh, go
Copy.
to private chat and paste it to me there, and then I can paste it into the chat. Because I don't think
Hey,
you can.
okay, I
Here it
just
is.
did.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, and they offer it in the 12 gauge, the 14 gauge, 16 gauge, 18 gauge, and 20 gauge.
All right,
So you could.
that's the link John sent me. So
That's the exact box I got, just different price. It's gone up. Um, and I ordered this. Well, I ordered this Friday afternoon of last week. So, oh no, I ordered it 2 weeks ago. That's it. It
even
it
so,
came
yeah,
it came in after the live stream,
right. Right.
of course. But I thought it was well, it was a better deal at the cost I got it for.
Absolutely.
But still, if you need a bunch of different color wires, it's good. You
You know,
know,
I
my
buy those. I buy those variety packs in the. Let's see. I got 30 gauge. I got 22. I got 18, maybe 20 and 22. Um, for doing electronics. You know, the silicone, highly
mhm,
flexible stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so I have a mail call,
good.
and I allude to it in the cover picture for today's live stream. Here it is, same thing,
Mhm.
and said things are going to heat up, and I don't need what's in here right now. Uh, yeah, you're absolutely right, Heath. Which is not exactly the best type of wire. Not what I like to use. But if I'm using it on a locomotive, I don't have that big a problem
Mhm.
for electronics versus up underneath and stuff. So anyway, so I've got this, and I don't need what's in here right now. But as I mentioned last week, I bought a lot of stuff and I was restocking. And that's what I've never had these before. Uh, so it's not restocking. I am just stocking up on these. And so I know I can use them. And what they are. Now, who would put peanuts. My freaking God.
Well, and if you ever send something to Tammy and Ray, make sure you send peanuts with it because she loves peanuts.
I just
And
dumped
so
it.
does Ray. Ray likes peanuts also. So, always send peanuts to them.
And you can always send them to Sparky as well.
Oh, Sparky likes peanuts also, huh?
Oh yeah, Sparky just
Ah,
loves peanuts.
yeah.
So, um, so anyway, order these off of Amazon, and they are both 5 millimeter pre-wired LEDs. All right. One of them has 5 bulbs. The other one has 10 bulbs. The 5 bulb was slightly cheaper. The 10 pack is their blue flicker bulbs. Save the bubble wrap. Ray, I save it, but it doesn't last very long. A 2 hour tour and a 2 hour tour. Yeah, exactly, JD. Um, he taught us well, right? Right.
Yes.
We're still not up to his par. Well, all right. So anyway, these are blue flicker bulbs. Blue, you say? Why would you want blue? Well, I can use them in conjunction with a white flicker, or even just a regular white for a welding thing. Now, I bought 2 welding kits, and both of those went out. Okay. I don't know that I would use a flicker, Joe, on a police car. I think I'd use a blinking on a police car, or a red blinking. These are flicker, which are intermittent and so forth. Like the blue ones can be for a welder, or in a window of an apartment or house for a TV set. All right. So that's what these are for. And like I said, I have no intention of using them right away. I just want to have them on hand. So when the need arises, I've got them. So I hate to be waiting on something. I want to have, when I start a project, I try to make sure I have everything I need. That doesn't always work before I start the project. Uh-huh. Um, you know. Anyway, and then the 5 pack, is our flickering candle red pre-wire. All right. For 4 things such as a bonfire, right? Or a fire in a structure. I put the flickering red with a yellow constant bulb to put a little cotton or filter filament around it for smoke, and make a neat little scene. So that's what I got, and I just got a notice that Sunday, you may recall I bought a bunch of LEDs that arrived last week, except for the one that was on a slow boat for China that wasn't going to get here till the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that one is set to arrive now on Sunday. So.
Well, they must have had a faster boat then.
Yeah, and those are 5 millimeter pre-wired warm whites. No, not 5 millimeter. 2 millimeter pre-wired warm whites. And what I use those for, if you look at the headlights on a GMD, uh, you know, GP 35 or whatever, they're all smaller uh, lights, and that 2 millimeter, if you pull the lens out of the shell on those Athearn Blue Box GP or SD units, these slide right in. So,
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yes.
that is my mail call. So
Good. And I did review that wire. It is a copper clad aluminum wire. So,
right.
you know, it,
Yep. Yep.
tell you what, I haven't had any trouble soldering to it. So,
No, you shouldn't.
it,
I mean, I've used it, and I solder
yeah.
to it all the time. So
And it's probably got a pretty thick clad on it because even when you cut it, you barely see any aluminum. So,
well, it all depends on the
eh,
gauge of the wire too.
yeah, that's true. But that's what I got. That's what I'm gonna use. And with this again, if I had a much bigger layout and I was gonna to have longer runs, and I would have made changes. But for this room is 14 by 16. It's fine.
No, that'll be good.
You know?
That'll be good. You'll have fun with that layout.
Yeah.
And there's enough interesting things and switching and turntable and stuff to do, and you can throw in some animations here and there, and it'll be pretty cool.
Well, I do have a pre-built structure that I bought used, and it's a little bar scene or corner restaurant, and it has a patio area out in front of it, and somebody has made it work so a guy sitting at a table out front is drinking a beer.
Oh, it's animated?
It's animated.
That'll be cool.
It's like, okay, how did he do that? I got to really look into that. HO, those figures are small, and
Yep.
to make it animated, I applaud him, whoever it was that built it. As I said, I bought it used, so
Might be able to, a lot of like the crossing gates, the working crossing gates will use a cam
mhm.
on a whatchamacallit, and I wonder if there's a cam on on a wire fed up to that.
Yeah, it is a wire.
But boy, that's awful thin to try to get
Yeah,
a wire through.
yeah, I know, and that's why I was so impressed with it. So,
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be very cool. So, anyway, John, I don't have anything else. How about you?
no, since I don't have any trains running yet, no, I don't have anything else. Maybe next week. Maybe next week.
No. Next week it should be done.
Well, we'll do our best. Yeah, depends on how much rain we have.
Did you get it hooked up temporarily and check out that wire?
No, because I took the alligator clamps off that we had been using to go to track power, and put in an actual connected the actual power cable.
John contacted me earlier in the week saying he made up a network cable, Digitrax cable, and putting the ends on and everything. He used his cable tester, and only would get 3 LED lights of the 4. So he called me and asked me about it, and I said, I had that issue. And I got thinking, but I don't know that it was really an issue. So I went and checked multiple cables of mine, both working and ones I have just made up, and they all did the same thing. They all tested with 3 of the 4 LEDs. So,
and Steve, later I did find a pamphlet that came with the the box, and I know I set it here someplace, and I can't find it right at the moment. But you know, the pack that I bought from Digitrax had 4 or 5 different implements in there, and I found the card that talked about the lights and which ones come on and what it meant. And now I can't place where I. Oh, there it is. I had it right here for me to look at. And if I can read it without glasses. So on the little cable tester, the LED 1 checks the rail sync white and black wires. LED 2 checks the local net black and red wires. LED 3 checks the local net green and yellow wires. And LED 4 checks the rail sync yellow and blue wires. So I didn't have the LED 4 was not coming on, and what that is it has to do with the track power, that you don't get it unless your track power is on.
So did you retest it?
Not yet. Yep. But I think it's fine. And you know, I looked at the connectors and I don't see how they can't be connected. It was a good crimp. It was nice and even at the ends of the cables when I put it in. I know that one of them I was having trouble with when I stripped the outer casing off the flat line. The bottom side of the connector, or the bottom side of the cable, didn't have all that plastic shield off of.
Well, we're going to try something, because I just tested it. I don't know when I tested whether I had the track power on or not. Yeah. Okay, the same cable that I only had 3 on when we talked, I now plugged into the control unit, and I get 4.
Yeah, and you know, I'd watched.
So if you did that, if you plugged it, your cable, one end into the tester and one end into your A
or B
DCS.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, A or B on the command center. You should get 4.
Let's see. I did watch one video that was talking about
when your track power is turned on.
Yeah, but this video said your track power didn't have to be turned on. You just had to have your controller turned on with no track power. And I don't think they were right. I think you had to have the track power on also.
Well, when we tested during our phone conversation, I plugged into the local net connection on my panel up on the track, not the command center. So and that's when I only had 3. Now I plugged the same cable, one end into the command center, one end into the tester, and with the track power on, and you got 4. So
I don't know. I'm sure I'll find out if it works right as soon as I get some power to my track, which may be this afternoon, maybe tomorrow. I know it won't be Sunday because I'm going to see waterfalls.
There you go.
But that's it for me.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, I want to thank you. Hey, Ray, I want to thank you all for joining John and I here at the Retirement Railroad and Friday Live. And y'all have a great day.
Bye, all.